4-on-4. There he is coming downhill.
Out to Giannis. Going for it. Giannis with the advantage.
Giannis Antetokumpo is not only one of the most decorated Europeans, but also one of the all-time most decorated in NBA history. From his incredible strength to his unprecedented career trajectory, and even his lovable personality, the Greek Freak really personifies the Man of Steel. In this video, we'll be taking you through everything you need to know about Giannis Antetokumpo's journey to the top. Getting to know the NBA's new Superman is a fun trip, so make sure you stick around until the end. You probably didn't know just how similar Giannis is to the comic book Superman. Everything about the character is who Giannis is, starting from his birth name. If you know a thing or two about Superman, you'll know that his alter ego name, Clark Kent, isn't actually his birth name. Well, Giannis Antetokumpo is also not Giannis's birth name. That's right, the Greek Freak was born in December 1994 as Giannis Antetokumpo. The name comes from African descent. More specifically, it's Nigerian, as Giannis was born to Nigerian parents in Athens, Greece. The name Antetokumpo is from the Yoruba tribe in the southwest of Nigeria, and it translates to "the crown has returned from overseas." Just in case you didn't know, Nigerians are like that when it comes to their names. So definitive. His father Charles was a soccer player while his mother Veronica was a high school jumper before migrating from Lagos, Nigeria, 3 years before Giannis was born. Giannis is the middle child of 5 boys, Francis and Thanasis being the older 2, and Costas and Alex being the youngest. You probably only know 4 of the Antetokumpo brothers, and that's because the eldest, Francis, was left in Nigeria under the care of his grandparents since he was only a child when the parents migrated. Giannis and his brothers had it very tough growing up in Greece. Both their parents could hardly find jobs as they didn't have work permits, so Giannis and Thanasis would help by hawking watches, handbags, and sunglasses in the streets. To make things even tougher, the Antetokumpos were considered outcasts because they didn't have either Nigerian or Greek passports, so they were essentially without a nationality. Charles and Veronica brought up their boys with a fully typical Nigerian culture. However, the other Nigerians they had around never fully considered them as Nigerians because they couldn't speak any of the native dialects. Come on, you can't just overlook just how similar this childhood is to that of Clark Kent, or should we say Kal-El. Giannis's basketball journey didn't start until he was 11 years old, and by 2009, he was playing for the Philadelphia Youth League team. We did tell you he was the real Superman, and it showed even in his pace on the court. Giannis has always been among the lankiest players on his team, with large hands and whatnot, but boy oh boy is Giannis fast. As if it were his version of the telephone booth, Giannis really does get his superpowers once he steps on the court. Even his career trajectory went more rapidly than anyone could have imagined. From hawking on the streets of Greece at age 13 to getting drafted just 6 years later, Giannis is Superman on and off the court. From first picking up a ball in 2007, Giannis was on the Philadelphia men's senior team in the semi-pro Greek B basketball league by 2011, moved up to the Greek A2 league the following season, got his passport in 2003, and was eligible for the 2013 NBA draft. It all didn't come so easily though. In fact, Giannis and Thanasis actually kept on working as street vendors till Giannis was 17 years old. The brothers even went as far as sleeping on foam mats in the gym because they had trained so hard they couldn't even gather the energy to get back home. When Thanasis made the team first, Giannis would have to wait for his brother to come off before he could play because they had shared the same pair of shoes. Like Superman, Giannis definitely had to pay his dues before he realized his superpowers. Since getting drafted 15th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks and finishing his debut season on the NBA All-Rookie second team, Giannis has only gone from one level of greatness to another, and it's all thanks to his insane work ethic. Antetokumpo is so driven and all about the never-give-up mentality that he even transformed his physique. Entering the NBA, Giannis was about 6'9" and weighed just 190 pounds. Fast forward a decade, and Giannis has put in so much work in the gym and stuck to diet plans that now has him weighing 243 pounds at a standing height of 7 feet. This is probably the most impressive body transformation in NBA history. Very few players, both past and present, are in Giannis's class when it comes to passion, dedication, and work ethic, stating that his biggest push is to not let his family down. Giannis has, and still puts in the work like only the likes of Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan are known for. In his words, "In order for you to be great, you have to be a little bit crazy." And boy oh boy does he work like crazy. Giannis is ensured not to let his pure physical skill and dominance derail him from putting in extra hours at the gym and training. This dude legit stays behind after games to practice on his own, particularly with his free throws. Everyone, including Giannis, knows that his free throws are one of the most underwhelming aspects of his game, and he doesn't just let that slide. A viral video was seen on the internet of Giannis practicing his free throws alone after a historic game in which he led the Bucks to a 123-114 win over the Timberwolves in December 2022. Giannis had one hell of a game after posting 43 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 assists. But still, he was the last man in the arena working on his free throws. That's super impressive. Remember Giannis talking about doing something crazy to be great? Well, here's the craziest thing you'll ever hear. Just months after getting drafted on a cold Saturday morning in late November, Giannis had used the ATM to withdraw cash to send to his family in Greece. He went back to withdraw some cash to pay for his taxi fare to the Bradley, the Milwaukee Bucks home arena, only to find out he had maxed out his card. The Bucks had a game that day though. So guess what Giannis did? He headed out into the snow and began running the 2-mile-plus journey to the Bradley Center without a jacket because he couldn't afford one. This is probably the craziest thing you've ever heard, but it actually took the intervention of a young couple who pulled up their vehicle next to the skinny teenager, confirming their speculation that he was the Bucks rookie, and offered him a ride. Running for miles in the cold without a jacket. Nothing sounds crazier than that if you ask us. Some years later, the late NBA legend Kobe Bryant had a summer workout session with Giannis, and he was full of praise for the Bucks power forward, saying, "He showed up 1.5 hours early. We talked for 20 minutes before we worked out, and he whipped out a notepad. After practice, same thing. He sits down, and we talked for like an hour. He just sat there and took notes, and he studied and studied. So I'm not surprised at what he's doing. He just has the mentality of he's getting better all the time. He's just scratching the surface." If we're talking about Superman, it's only fair we mention another Justice League member, Dwayne "The Flash" Wade, who also had a lot of praise for Giannis, saying, "His rise? It's been special. To see a young kid come in like that, just raw, he looks like he literally lives at the gym, whether it's in the weight room or whether it's working on his game." Wade went on to add, "You know, each year he looks even hungrier. You know, he puts himself in position to be an MVP candidate. He puts his team in a position to compete for a championship, and he's still young. He has a long way to go, so kudos to him for that. My head goes out to the work he puts in for it." When legends like Kobe and Dwayne have this much high praise for you, it means you're doing something right. And although the two of them said this years ago, Giannis has gone on to prove them right. After making the NBA All-Rookie second team in 2014, Giannis had a couple of rough seasons but came back in 2017, winning the NBA Most Improved Player, as well as his first All-NBA and All-Defensive second team selections, and his first of 7 consecutive NBA All-Star appearances. From there, he hasn't slowed down one bit. Other than his continued All-Star streak, Giannis has been named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team and All-NBA First Team 4 times each, the Eurostar Player of the Year, and was named at the NBA 75th Anniversary Team as one of the game's greatest ever. In 2019, after a stellar season in which he averaged 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in 72 games, he was named the NBA Most Valuable Player. This award made him the 9th youngest to ever win the award, the youngest ever European, and only the 2nd ever European to win it. Giannis wasn't satisfied yet, because he came out even better the next season. Not only did he average 29.5 points, 13.6 rebounds, and 5.6 assists in 63 games, but the Greek Freak won his 2nd consecutive MVP award and was named the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, making him only the 3rd to ever win both awards in the same season, after legends Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. He also finished that 2019-2020 season as the Milwaukee Bucks points, rebounds, assists, and steals leader. How about that for out-of-this-world greatness? Giannis wasn't done just yet though, not until he achieved the ultimate prize. And in the 2020-21 season, Giannis guided the Bucks all the way to their first NBA championship trophy in 50 years, averaging 35.2 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Dude was only 26 years old and already had won the championship, the NBA Finals MVP award, and the NBA All-Star Game MVP. The first ever non-American to do so in the same season. What can we say? They call him the Greek Freak for a reason. Antetokumpo is one of those players whose trophy cabinet says all you need to know about their on-court abilities. Frankly speaking, Giannis's game is complete. And not just now. He's had Hall of Famer qualities since he was 26 years old. His dominance, both on defense and offense, can't be spoken of enough. Not only does he make countless steals and blocks for his team, but he's capable of scoring as much as he can assist and be a playmaker. Giannis is as athletic, versatile, and consistent as any player in the league. He's even averaged over 20 points per game for more than 6 seasons. The only aspect of his game that needs improving is his three-point shooting, and real talk, a career percentage of about 29 is not bad. Not a lot of NBA players reach those numbers, plus, Giannis is not one to let any weaknesses go unchecked, so we're pretty sure that he'll improve the numbers on his three-point shooting in a couple of years. The perfect story of rags to riches. Giannis Antetokumpo has gradually become one of the NBA's greatest players. His journey to the top is what makes him the real Superman. So, given his age and work ethic, he's definitely going to soar higher. And like Superman, even the sky is not enough to limit him.